Hey, Cinema at Home gang, I can tell you right now, I need a haircut. But that'll have to wait till next week. What I want to show you today is I'm out here in Olathe, actually on a good friend of mine's home. He just finished out his basement, and so I'm installing his surround sound system and a couple of TVs. That's the bar back there where one of the TVs will go. But what I want to show you today was some things about in-ceiling speakers. Now there are literally probably hundreds of companies out there making all sorts of different types of in-ceiling speakers. Some good, some bad, some exceptional, some not so exceptional. So keeping in mind with in-ceiling speakers, the majority of those speakers are designed to fire downward, right, from the ceiling down into the room. Okay, and that's great for music, things like that. But when you're using a surround sound system, you want that speaker actually, in most cases, to fire directly at you, at least for the LCRs, the left, center, and front speakers. Those are intentionally designed to fire towards you, so you get the most of the surround sound effect. Objects coming from the foreground in towards you, or things coming above you. So this is a specifically designed in-ceiling speaker for surround sound, or for surround sound systems, basically the left, center, and front right speakers. And if you can tell, it's hard to tell, but this speaker is actually designed so that when it is mounted into the ceiling, if you can tell, the speaker is actually at an angle. So instead of the angle, this magnet going straight up and down, which would be more like this, it's at an angle, as you can see right here. And that's so that when it's positioned into the room, instead of firing just directly down into the room, it's actually firing towards the seating area. And not only that, but then the tweeter, which is in here, is also positionable too. Okay, so not only is this the whole mid-range, low end of the speaker going at an angle into the room, roughly I'd say 35 degrees or so. I can also adjust this in another probably, I'd say, gosh, probably another 10 or 15 degrees out of this as well. So that's called an LCR speaker, right? Okay, and then in some cases when you're cutting in the ceiling you find obstructions, which I did in this particular system, which I knew it was already there, but I had to deal with it because there was no putting speakers into the wall. I knew the client didn't want the speakers sitting on stands, so there's a couple companies out there that make shallow depth speakers, slim designs if you will, and they are exceptionally thin. So basically roughly less than 2 3/4 of an inch of the speaker actually goes into the ceiling. Alright, so let's compare the thickness between an LCR speaker, which is typically very thick, okay, as opposed to this one, which is roughly right at about half as thick, because this one here is almost a little over 5 inches. So this is almost 2 3/4, so roughly half the thickness. And let me see if I can flip this around. I'll show you something here real quick. All right, so if you can see that, I've got HVAC in the way, so that a deep speaker is not going to fit in that hole where it would easily in there. Okay, so that's what the thin speaker's for. So that's all fun stuff I got you. We should be wrapping up on this job tomorrow. I just got all the cabling pulled for it. It's going to be it's going to be a very cool system when we're done. I know the client's excited about it. So other than that, I'll have some more video and pictures of tomorrow's finished product, and I'll try and get a haircut as soon as I can.